At the top tonight, a lot was discussed in today's regularly scheduled Nueces County Commissioners Court, including the ongoing conversation of budget constraints. One commissioner calling for an investigation into the county's auditor's office.
Leaders claiming that there is a lack of confidence in what's coming out of that office as they learned today of insurance claims they had to pay that cost them millions of dollars. Our Josh Maxwell has been following that story. And Josh, kind of tell us here, what exactly does all of this mean?
Mike, the county had to dip into their reserve fund to pay the multi-million-dollar claims. Precinct 4 Commissioner Brent Chesney says that when items like these aren't budgeted for, it creates obstacles for those that actually are, which is why he called for an independent audit of the auditor's office.
We're just not convinced that everything we get is correct.
Precinct 4 Commissioner Brent Chesney giving his reasoning as to why an audit should be conducted on the Nueces County Auditor's Office. In Wednesday's regularly scheduled meeting, a payment discussed that Chesney says ran the county a pretty penny.
Some excess claims for county employees that cost us, a couple $1,000,000.
Chesney says the big expense caught him and other county leaders by surprise, saying it was a tipping point for the audit.
So if someone made a mistake that is costing us to have to dig into our reserves and pay an extra $500,000 in expenses that we weren't anticipating, or $1 million that we weren't anticipating, that can't just be swept under the rug. We have to deal with it.
Chesney says this kind of distrust can affect other departments as well.
I've never had to delay a budget vote, and we had to delay the budget vote by 2 weeks. We all, looked through it and found some numbers that weren't wrong, and department heads were complaining to us that their numbers weren't right.
This as Chesney also spoke about how the appraisal district allegedly went over budget.
Well, they just send us a bill and say, hey, here you go, and we got to find another $80,000 that we didn't plan on.
Nueces County Chief Appraiser Ronnie Canales says departments solidified their budgets back in September, and there's a possibility that wasn't reflected properly.
All entities were made aware as to what our increases were on the budget. Whether the county has gotten that information correct or not, that's something I'm not, privy to.
As with most things, Chesney says there are two sides to every story.
The appraisal district can come and they can show us that, hey, this was the auditor's fault. And the auditor might say, no, this was their fault.
So the big question is, what happens now? Chesney says that come January, a proposal will be brought back on a recommendation for the partial audit, along with a recommendation for a funding source. The cost of the audit has not yet been decided. Back to you.